You got it off your chest. Move on. It's time to go. I never said forget. I never said forget. Forgive, but do not forget. Take back your mental health. This is
Do what makes you
Martez
happy.
Royalty. If I do look familiar to you, I do have another YouTube channel called Knowing Your Worth TV, which talks about narcissism and real life situations and how to get through that and past that. But I do have this channel. And I wanted to do something different because I just wanted to really hone in on just being real, right? um really letting you all know like my backstory, how I got here, the struggles, and how you all can overcome situations as well if I was able to do it. So you read the title, right? The title is Take Back Your Mental Health. Let me just be real. So I am in my mid 40s, and I have a I'm a certified cosmetologist. I am. But through life, I went through a divorce. It was my second divorce. And I thought I could really get through it, but it mentally almost took me up out of here. Um, I'm just going to be real because it was the situations of how it happened. Um, just the things that you just wouldn't even believe that would happen. And I did it. I'll do a story time, so you all can I can tell you all the details. But this is a different video. I just want to get kind of give you snippets of it, right? So with that being said, it almost took me out of here, y'all. I'm not even lying. Like I feel like 4 years. It took me 10 years to get back on my feet. Let me just say it like that. Um, I'm gonna say almost 10 years. But 4 out of them almost 10 years, I didn't even know who I was. I'm just gonna be honest. Years went by, holidays went by, events went by. I couldn't even tell you where I was, what my name was, what was going on. I was still doing hair, but it was just like nothing mattered because I was so hurt and I wanted to portray the same revenge. I don't want to say revenge, but I want to pursue the same pain that was dished out to me, right? So, not to mention, you know, other situations that I was dealing with, that I had overcame. So this is a big backstory. I married my best friend and found out he was cheating in church. A series event that happened, I mentally almost lost my mind, right? We didn't have any kids together, but he did have a daughter that he brought into the relationship. And that hurt because I did want to still continue to have a relationship with her, but everything was so bad. It just went out the door, right? So during that time, a lot of things changed. If you in the hair industry or self-employment industry, whether you do nails, makeup, whatever that looks like, you know how we have to get our customers, how we have to show up, right? And sometimes people get crazy on you. They'll get crazy on you, and you have to decide whether or not you want to still pursue or still create or provide a service for that person or not. And I think for me, that was the breakdown for me to say, hey, my mental health is suffering. And it got to the point where I just didn't give a shit. Let me just be honest. I just didn't give a shit because, you know, one lady got mad at me because she felt like the prices raised $5. $5, ma'am? I got to make my money. But if you want to argue about that, I'm going to release you to the next stylist. I don't have time for that. One lady thought she was going to talk crazy to me, while I was doing her daughter's hair. You and your daughter both can leave. I'm not going to play that game with nobody. And it just got to the point where I said, you know what? I still had clientele, but let me try something different. So I went back into the workforce, right? Because I got tired of this shit. So I was still doing my clients' hair, the ones who was day ones, the ones who, hey, we down with you. So that's what I did, and did that for, and they stayed with me for 15, 20 years. I still got some now to this day. I still got some. So it got to the point where it was like I went to the workforce, started working at Nissan. By this time, y'all, like I said, I went through the divorce. So I'm trying to rebuild, trying to rebuild. Of course, I had to do a bankruptcy. Uh, I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. I lost my house because when I was married with my ex husband, my second ex husband, I was only married twice, but my second ex husband didn't know no better. I was ignorant, you know, and I walked away from my house, walked away from my house because things got a little tight, and he was complaining about, hey, I really want us to have something that we both can walk into. Plus, there was other situations going on financially that it was a lot going on in the household. And so I said, okay, well, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and, get something else. So we moved into an apartment for one, to save a little bit money because I felt like the mortgage was a little bit, high at that time too. And plus, like I said, things had got a little too tight at the house. So walked away, got an apartment, and it was like things just went down. And that's during the time that I found out he was cheating. And I'll tell y'all about that then because it's a lot. But anyway, the way everything went down, it was just like, I just couldn't believe it. So here I am, bankruptcy, lost my house. Cars got repoed. Yeah, I'm not finna sugarcoat nothing, right? It is what it is, because I need to help somebody. Because when God say He gonna give you double for your trouble, baby, that's what He mean. I'm talking about I had Escalade, I had shops, I bought my house at 25, right? So fast forward, divorce is here. Fast forward years later, I'm rebuilding. I'm working at Nissan. I worked there for as long as I couldn't take it, ended up getting fired. Okay, whatever. And then I end up working for another company that was connected to Nissan, but it was like a temporary company, but you could still get hired on with that company if that makes sense. I end up being a office clerk, right? So I started off on the floor first, and then I moved my way up within 4 to 5 years as an office clerk. End up being the only black girl in there. They didn't like that shit because they don't have a union out there, and they racist. And so, when it came down to that company losing their contract, somebody else picked them up. They didn't pick me up with them. So I had to file a lawsuit on that. Won the case, but hey, it is what it is. And so with that being said, at the end of that process of me being with that other company with Nissan, before I did not get transitioned over, I started working for another company, a call center. So, and I won't disclose that call center yet. I will shortly because I'm on the way out. I'm just gonna be honest. Um, because like I said, the name of this video is Take Back Your Mental Health, and that's exactly what I mean. Um, Started working for that company. It was 2018. What was it? 2 years later, the pandemic happened, so we all moved home. And during that time frame, that I didn't know, but God knew, right? God knew what was gonna happen. So I ended up working from home with that job, being one of the top agents. And I liked it. It was cool. It was different. I had to deal with all these different personalities. Can you curl this part? Can you do this right here? Can you? I didn't have to worry about all that. I needed something different. So with that being said, I went ahead and did that and was successful with it. And then they brought something else into the mix where they started to do sales. And I always hated sales. Still ended up being a top seller. But when it gets to the point where, fast forward now, where, and it's 2024, still a top seller, but at what cost, right? Um, the stipulations, and they have red flags. You can't say this, you can't say that. You got to do this. It's just too much. It's just too much. And I feel like we all, since the pandemic, have really gotten to the point where, Fuck all of that. Okay? You can have your clicks, your favoritism, you being funny. Uh, I'm just not with it. Life is short. Don't nobody know how much time they got left. Let me share something else with y'all that really pushed me over the bump. This is 2024. We are in the end of October. If you listen to this message. Now, 2022, the end of 2022, I got a phone call right when I was getting off of work from this same job that I'm still at. That I'm on my way out the door. I'm telling y'all, look for that next video because it's coming. 2022, I got a phone call getting off of work that I had one of my first cousins, like a sister to me, like a sister to me. Now I'm an introvert. I don't really, I don't connect with too many people. I like real people, and I can sniff fakeness from a mile away. If I sniff it and if I can detect it, you out of there. I ain't got nothing for you. I'm just gonna keep it real because that's just who I am, right? And back to the story, I got a phone call that my sister, she was my first cousin, but she's like my sister, was dead, right? Was dead. Um, 49. She left behind 3 children. She went into the beauty salon to get her hair done. Um, Within probably 10 minutes of being in this beauty salon, she went to the restroom and she died in that bathroom. Her hairstylist said that she heard her calling her name, and by the time they opened the door, she was down. She was out. To make a long story short, she died because her blood pressure was up too high. Stress. Blood pressure's in the 400s. Stress. I had to speak at her funeral, and it was I to this day I still struggle with it. To this day I still struggle with it, right? Because every time I saw her, she had a smile on her face. Every time I saw her, it was always smiles. It was always positivity. I never seen her arguing with nobody. I never seen her going back and forth with nobody. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't want to stop this video. I'm gonna keep going because God is telling me to keep going. Stress. That was 2022. 8 months later, her only sister she had left died in a car accident, heart attack on the way home. My first cousin, Tanya, she died December the 9th, 2022. And her sister died November the 4th or 5th, 2023. And I spoke at both of their funerals. Not to mention, going back in 2022, I had a miscarriage and I lost one of my dogs. I had my dog. If y'all know me, my dogs are like my children, right? Because I don't have no children. But I've had all of my dogs for 14 years. So I had my dog that died, Precious, and I put her picture down here. Miscarriage, a sister. Not to mention before that, a year and a half ago, I had another miscarriage. And I had 3 dogs in all. And 3 dogs in all. I had two Shih Tzus. If I find some, when I get some pictures, I'm gonna pull them up. Two Shih Tzus. They were like almost like twin girls, all girls. And I had, well, that was mixed with Jack Russell. Shih Tzu with Jack Russell, and then I had a Labrador, Sophia. Sophie, I call her Sophie, but her real name was Sophia. I named her after Golden Girls. So it was Feisty, Precious, and it was Sophia. But I'm getting off the subject. But just to let y'all know, like, grief will take you down, and I don't care what people may look like on the outside. You never know what somebody's going through, right? You never know what somebody's going through. I think this is probably the realest videos that I will ever, one of the realest videos I will ever do. And when I tell y'all to get to a place to take your mental back, now somebody done had it worse than me. Well, they done lost their children. They have grown up, to the streets, it, weird situations, car accidents. Like, it's real. It's real, you know. And people be telling me, man, Marquisa, sometimes when I'm looking at you, I you know, I couldn't tell because you carry it so well. Because I've adjusted. I've learned to adjust to that type of. It's always gonna be something. I've learned to keep showing up no matter what, no matter how hard it get. Keep showing up because God is He gonna fix it. That's what I believe. That's just what I believe. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a peace of mind, and if you cannot manage your mental health like you need to, it's time to really do a self-evaluation or self-inventory, whatever you want to call it, and get back on track. Because you can make all the money in the world and be batshit crazy, and that's real. And nothing in this world, I don't care who the man, woman, if they don't call it no gender, I don't care who you with or what you got going on or what you tied to. If it does not serve you, if it does not bring you peace, it's time to get ready to let it go. And that's real. That's real. Now, I told y'all about the deaths. The beginning of this year is when it really hit hard for me. And I felt this great pull, like, reset, reset. God just kept saying, reset, reset. I'm about to do a new thing. Reset, reset, reset. I'm about to do a new thing. It's Isaiah something. I can't remember the scripture. Isaiah 54. I think it's Isaiah something. I'm gonna have to look it up and put it on this. But behold, I would do a new thing. Shall it spring forth? Would you not know it? Or something like in that nature. But God kept saying reset. So that's what I did. Right. So I'm gonna keep it PG on here. I'm gonna just drop it on the floor. Lay all the cards out on the table. Right. I filed for bankruptcy again because my past relationship with my baby daddy, who I lost the kids with, put me in a lot of debt, and he walked the fuck away, only to be with somebody else, whom which could take care of him. Cause I wasn't finna take care of your ass. You gonna have to work. So the bills that we created together, and some of the bills they didn't even know he existed. He was like, "All right, I'm gone. Figure that shit out." So I said, "Okay, let me get this together." So bankruptcy. I hated where I lived. I lived in an apartment. The price was good because the price of inflation of the price of living has just, it's ridiculous. But anytime I gotta worry about if I'm gonna be shot, killed, robbed, my car gonna be gone, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not doing that. And not only that, anytime I had killer hornets coming out of the fucking fireplace, really? That's what we doing? Yeah. Bye. Bye. I left them, put their ass on the bankruptcy and rolled off. I can't do it. I'm not no, that was affecting my mental health. Not only that, I was on the first floor. So anything, if somebody went to go pee, I could hear it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I can't no. So I left, filed for bankruptcy. Once again, that's part of the reset, right? Um, on my job, I woke up, I was waking up with headaches. Right around the same time, when I pressed that green button, I pressed the green button on everything. I want to go. I found me an attorney. I told him press the green button on the bankruptcy. Put this apartment complex on there. I'm gonna give you the time when I'm gonna be out. Left the apartment complex. Not only that, I went on leave absence from my job for 6 months. Paid. Paid. When I tell you that was the most free I have felt in a long time, yeah. And so now that I'm back, and I've been back for like a month, and it's just not, it's just not. Let me just leave it right there. It's just not. So I'm not. So at this point, not only have I taken back my mental health, I don't give two shits. I used to be the type to work 2 or 3 or 4 jobs. I don't work 4 jobs at one time. I'm an 80s baby. So me working four jobs at one time, that was a piece of cake for me because I always had to get it out the mud. But it's a new day. It's a new day now. And it's like God's like, well, if you can work 5 jobs, you can open up 5 of your own businesses and work that. I've given you that ability to do that. So that's where I'm leading to. Do what makes you happy. And I'm just gonna keep it real because like it's a Saturday, right? And like I said, I still do hair, move my schedule around so I can have extra days to do what I need to do. But with that being said, I'm now into, I like to create things. I make bracelets, and I'll give y'all that on another video. I'm not I'm not. Please understand, I'm not promoting. I'm not. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just letting you know what can be done, right? What really can be done. Find something that you like to do. It may be a whole different craft that you never thought about doing, but once you start doing it, it brings you peace. And watch God put his magic to it, because that's exactly what I'm going to do. I make flower buckets. I make bracelets. I just like to be creative. Like I said, I'm a cosmetologist, and I'm getting into other things too. Even with me, people reaching out to me, they want me to coach them because they knew the people who know me. They know I went through a horrific divorce, and the way I was able to come back out and still be able to forgive, because the revenge is not mine, it's God's. And that's another thing too. When you hold a lot of unforgiveness and a lot of grudges, that you can't grow with that. That's poisoning your body. That's cancer. That's poisoning your body. Get that out. Whatever them people did to you, you put it in your back pocket. Write a letter how you really feel about that shit. Burn the letter up after you finish. Put it to that person. You can give it to them. You ain't got to give it to them. It's up to you. You can give it to them or you don't have to give it to them. If you don't give it to them, you put it in the pile. You burn it. You put it in a place where you ain't got to worry about seeing that shit no more. You got it off your chest. Move on. It's time to go. I never said forget. I never said forget. Forgive, but do not forget. Do not forget. So if them characteristics start showing up again in other people, you done already seen it before, just in a different form, in a different person, right? That lesson was there to teach you something about it. So as I'm closing in this video, if you didn't hear nothing else I said, take back your mental health. Do what makes you happy. Don't be around toxic people that keep a lot of mess going. If you know somebody calling with some toxic information, or they like to gossip, don't nobody have time for that. Give yourself enough time. Like if it's a close family member like mom or your sisters or something like that, and you know they with the toxic mess, give them 10, 15 minutes and let them go. You got to go. Don't mean you don't love them. That just means you can't take all that. And I'm going to use myself as an example. I got close family members, and they call me all the time. As opposed to, I'll see how you doing, you see how I'm doing. But then when you get to talking about other people, and I can't handle that, because my spirit at that point, my spirit is turning in my body. My stomach is doing somersaults. Like, get this person off the phone. Like, it don't get no realer than that. Because what happens is when you don't pay attention to your mental health and you don't manage that right, it's gonna manage you. It's gonna manage you. If you don't manage it, it's gonna manage you. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? A lot of people say, Marquise, you done changed. Yeah, a lot done changed me. Made me look at everything different. I don't give energy to crazy situations no more. If that ain't doing enough for me, and I'm not saying it's gotta benefit me, but what I am saying is this: if it's got some craziness to it, a lot of toxic energy with it, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. You can feel how you want to feel. Think and say what you want to say. I do not care. Your mental health is so important. Sometimes, if you can just stop for a minute, watch a nice movie, just have a you day. Take your good nap. Just relax. Turn the phone off for a minute. It will be okay. And analyze. Think about your surroundings. Think about what's going on around you, right? All the situations you hear about, we live in this world. That's one thing you can count on. Don't nobody know how we leaving or when. So while you are here, let's get this thing together, right? Let's leave out on a good note. I think about my cousins, the way they left. They didn't even have a chance to say bye to nobody. They was gone like that. Like that. Like that. I don't know about y'all, but I know about me. I'm ready to do this thing different. It's a different way. It's a different age, a different generation. And what I will say is, and I'm gonna do a video to thank DoDash about this one. Um, she kept showing up. She kept showing up no matter what. And she's a prime example of, if you don't know her, look her up. But it's a better life. It is a better life. So if you are stuck in a 9 to 5, especially if you in your 40s, you in your 50s and 60s, And y'all know we from a generation where if you didn't work, you didn't eat. We've been mentally brainwashed. I'm gonna say it just like that because that's what it is. That's the only way that we can make money. Working class. People who done got it out the mud. I'm from the projects. So I know what that is. So if you are stuck in that 9 to 5, do some self inventory, self evaluation. Where you see yourself 2 years or 5 years from now? Are you on blood pressure medicine? Why? Is it hereditary or is it the job? Have you ever thought about that? Do you have anxiety? Right? Panic attacks? Jobs? Let the job go. That's where I'm at. I can't do it no more. Money's good, but money ain't everything. Money don't mean a damn if I ain't here. Take back your mental health, man. Queens and kings, take back your mental health. You'll be able to do wonders with it. Create new things. Let God move the way he needs to. Because this 9 to 5 thing that's holding a lot of stress is taking people up out of here. On top of everything else that we got going on in the world that we got to worry about. Some people got kids. The kids not obeying. They're being hard headed as hell. You got to deal with who they hanging around, what's going on. You know, if people going through divorces. I get it. I've been there. I've been there. I've been there. And it is if you ain't got no peace in your house, you gotta have some peace somewhere, otherwise you're gonna break. I've been there. That's how I know exactly what you're going through. So with that being said, please listen to what I'm saying. Take back your health, your mental health. Take back your mental health. It's the most powerful thing you can do. Create something. Start from somewhere. You wonder why, and I'm not racist by no means. But once I look around, it's a lot of Hispanics that have their own business. You wanna know why? They ain't got time for this shit. They ain't got time for that. They don't have time for that. And they can call their own shots in their own job, their own company. Let's do the same. We got one life to live. And for my older generation, I'm gonna call us seasoned queens and kings. We got this thing. We got the work ethic because we've been doing it all our life. Why not put it into our own business and implicate them same methods and strategies and make it happen? So until the next time, y'all, take back your mental health. I love y'all. I want to see y'all win. I'm not just saying that. I am for real. Because on my other channel, Knowing Your Worth TV, when I'm doing stories about people, it's just my soul cringes because I'm just watching people deteriorate. Our communities, our society. You got mothers killing daughters, daughters killing their mothers, and the kids killing their mother. Yeah, it's just too much. Yeah, we can talk about narcissism all day long, but mental health has a lot to do with this shit. Cause they just could not take no more. When if you manage your mental health, you'll be okay. But because they never managed their mental health, the mental health managed them. That's all I got, y'all. I love y'all. I want to see y'all win. Till the next time, I'm out.